Doing is I'm working on. I'm gonna put all my live chats right here, all live chats, so all messages, so you can talk to me. What I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to flip the camera so you can see. And what happens is that working on a sculpture, and the sculpture is I've been invited to an event, and so this is the stuff I'm going to be working on. I'm going to see this piece of paper here. I'm going to take this piece of paper and turn it into a beautiful piece of artwork. And so what happens incidentally, what's going on is I'm going to put it here so you can see me work as I'm working on this cool sculpture. Let me see, put it this way probably. And let's see if we can get it to angle, maybe out of the way of the wind and everything like that, as I work on this sculpture. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna make a giant sculpture. The goal is to make something almost like 5 feet. 5 feet. Right now I'm looking at 4 feet. So I'm rocking this thing at about 4 feet. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do this. And I don't know why my camera's not holding up right now. See how this is? But I'm gonna work it, gonna make it work great. So let's just do this as I get this all figured out here. I think it's just the way that it is. So I guess here we go. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and map out what I want to do. So what I have is the diplopolises that I've been working on for forever. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and map out the details to that. So let's see. Make the head about this big. Bunny. That's the legs. Here, whatever your leg is. That's good. This here. Arms. And then you have the feet. Probably wondering, how in the world am I going to make this? So far, all I have is one roll of masking tape, right? Wonder how I'm going to make this thing. See, I'm going to get the complete thing right there. See if you have all that down there. Okay, cool. And all the details right there. So how are you going to do this? How are you going to make this really big sculpture? And why are you making this really big sculpture? Well, I'm glad you asked. I was invited to an event. And the event I was invited to was from a friend of mine. And what I'm doing is going to work on making really cool structure. Really cool masking tape creature. And this one here is one of my favorites to make. I have others to make. And what I really want to do is I want to take this to a park. But we're not going to a park today. Today's not really much of a park today. Today's more or less like I just kind of stay home and work on some stuff day to day. So what happens is that's what I do. now I kind of open myself up to all kinds of things. Because when you work in front of your house, you get neighbors who want to say hello, which I don't mind. But it's like, people want to say hello and talk to you, but you kind of have to keep the main thing the main thing. So now, you have to estimate if this is the right size and the details. You have to add little nuances and stuff because like when you have like this is called a diplocaulus. And what a diplocaulus is it's one of the stake type of salamander, which is very unique shape head. Now, the normal ones that they make actually have more like a diamond shaped head. It's kind of comes to a point like that, right? But the ones I always make have a little crease. I like the whole crease aspect to it. I saw this for the first time in a museum of natural history, and I blew my mind. I was like, this is such a cool creature, So this is such a cool creature. Definitely, I could make something so cool. I've been making a lot of them, If you look at my website, my Instagram, it's One Life Most Art. You can see all the different details to this, It goes into. Thank you so much, thank you. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start showing you some of the process of what I do in order to make this into a full creature. So, there's a lot of mass here. A lot of mass needs to be taken into account. Now, what you can do to make this work really well is that you have to kind of stop and think about what is it you actually want to accomplish. Because, for example, right, you can't make a big solid mass of masking tape. And this is a principle that one of the principles I learned, or I just kind of invented, I guess, after watching some of the people do this. Like, you start off with a piece of tape, right? And you figure out exactly where you want to put your body, your bone structure. It's like, how our body is, we have lightweight ribs inside of us, right? So you have the figure, even inside of an amphibian, amphibians have bones. And every bone is followed by, you have a bone inside here, right there for the hands and for the feet, And you have these parts that kind of form and make the structure. You can figure out the structures here. And, there's a central line, a central line that goes through this. That's the main backbone. So you have this one here from this part to this part, right? And you have the main backbone. And how this works. You can't use 1,000 tons of tape because that's just not supposed to be work. What you want to do, you want to be able to make something that will be able to hold up. Because one thing about masking tape, the more you add to it, the more stronger it becomes. So it's almost like a wire, So when you work on stuff, you start putting together the details of it, you figure where the arms and legs and everything's going to be. So you have that. That's kind of the first step of the equation. The next step of the equation is that you have to, let me check and make sure the battery is working. Yep, okay, cool. Next thing you're working on is just making sure that you start figuring out where all the bones and structure is. So anything like this, you start structuring the details. And you usually start off with the back, the neck, and the head. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just setting up the parameters for you to look at and see how this works. So you have this and this, right? This and this. Now, imagine how to make this work. You have to think about the details. I mean, let's talk about this. Right? Looking on this thing here, you're making a really, really giant circle. The best way to do this is several ways. You need like a central line to kind of keep everything in check. You do. And this central line will be the background. So right now I'm just kind of pasting it out, pasting out the details, right? Pasting it on there. Now, inside of everybody's body, you have bones. Right? So now with the bones, you're just kind of focusing and working the structure. Up there. Here.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you? How you doing?
Saying hi to you.
Hello. How you doing? I'm making a live YouTube video right now. So I'm live on YouTube. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I can come and say hi. The camera's that way. Okay, so just have a good night. Take care, guys. So here's this here, and we're just in the process of making some cool designs and just trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. We have it where that part, you see the thing how big his head is? I might not make it so big, but it's just one of those things where if I just keep working on it, here. See, not too long, I'm into this, and I'm already almost like to the basic baseline of the structure. See, this is not design. This is the understudy right here. This is where you have the all the details as to how you want to shape your creature. Now, the thing about this is like I was just listening to a really cool message today, and the message was, everything pretty much has a foundation when you start anything. This is one of those. I really enjoy making these pictures. I've always enjoyed just making artwork. But the foundation for why I started art was to communicate, I always saw that books and structures and things are so done wonderfully. Well, you get a chance to actually make something that wasn't there before, Something there that wasn't there before. And like that, like a Beauty and the Beast song. So what happens is right, you're blocking out your shapes, and I'm not gonna go completely to the filling part, but I'm just gonna go to the structure and the whole body part. So what happens is that as you're making the structure, you're kind of sitting there thinking, how is all this gonna work? How is all this gonna work? Well, you'll see. So the thing about foundation is that in the very beginning, when we were made, we were given a kingdom, we were given a nice place to live in, the Garden of Eden. And I thought it was so awesome that you have it where we could live freely, and in that kingdom, it's okay to be naked and stuff like that. Usually, nobody cared about that, really good stuff. But then what happens is you have it where society, Adam and Eve, they did the thing where they're not supposed to do. Out of all the stuff they could have done, they had abundance. God gave us such abundance. And he says, the one rule, don't do this, and it's the one rule that they broke. And you really think about it, the time I said, I'm going to let him have it, because he was told what to do, instead of doing what he's supposed to do, he did what he's not supposed to do. Okay, so, this is the situation here. Now, see, I've never made a sculpture this big before. This is the biggest sculpture to date I will have made, right? So I'm looking at this here, and I'm thinking about what kind of bones you need to have in order to support the weight of everything, So when you really think about it and how it all works, the way it is, you have. Let me just move the camera so you can see a little better. You see this here mapping out the stuff, and you have it where I'm mapping out the details of the diplocaulus. And so what makes it a cool thing is that you can see how much details go into this, right? How much details go into it. But so now you have a couple things you have to be mindful of. You have the toes, you have the toes, you have the toes, and you have the head. Now see, this is so flimsy, you won't be able to hold the weight. You can't hold the weight of anything. So you have to think like an airplane. Like how would you build an airplane? Well, airplanes have to be maintained lightweight. They can't just be like a solid piece of wood flying in the air. No, airplanes are lightweight. They're all based on shells. This is where I give a shout out to my sister. I give a shout out to my sister and to the work that she does. Because what she does a really cool job. She was part of the airplane mechanic type school, and she was going to learn how to fix airplanes. And she did. She actually worked on different planes and all that. My older sister. So, incidentally, I guess through osmosis, I think there's a way that you can actually teach other people. When you learn something, I'm not 100%. I wish it was the case, but you're able to learn. It's like as the consciousness of humanity rises, when everybody starts learning stuff. So here's what we have. We have all this meat and potato right here. This fat right here, right? This right here. We have the spread of the tail. We have that all information we have to be mindful of. Right? All this right here we got to be mindful of. All here we have to be mindful of. And so this is all not going to support any weight whatsoever. So what we have to do is that we have to definitely reinforce. Do a series of reinforcements, you know? As we do reinforcement, we're able to make it better. So right now, you see the head is too big to support the necks, right? So we have to have a reinforcement for that. This is how we do the reinforcements, by the way. First and foremost, you have the tape. Right? And tape itself, in and of itself, is a very powerful thing. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to have to ball the tape up, not the ball tape, but just kind of one of these kind of things, you know? And you're going to make some ribs. You're going to make some ribs. And the ribs, like our body, you have to be able to determine the size of what the rib's going to be. So this is going to be supporting structures that are going to be, it's going to become more 3D as we work through the piece. See, this is why I don't make pieces so big, because they're actually kind of difficult. But you have to think about in terms of ribs, and in terms of supporting structures that will hold up the weight. So you have this and this and this, then you have that, and then you continue to maintain the shape. Yeah, so this right here to maintain the shape. So we have this right there. Let's see. Shape, shape, shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep going with this. Let's see, you have reinforce the structure. Where you want the structure to align, you know that a lot of the weight is going to be held by behind. So just imagine, you see how this right now doesn't look like much, but don't, let me tell you, you're building an actual structure, actual things that become more and more detailed as you go. So here's the, so as you do this, it'll work. Same thing for the neck. Everything that you want to reinforce, you have to give a cross piece to. Right? Because what's going to be, it's going to be three-dimensional. You have to think in terms of support structures, support systems, and three dimensions. Now, see, I've never done this before in terms of making a big creature like this, but I have a general idea of what needs to be done. You have the bones, you have the supports. See, when God made us really well. He made us wisely. He made it with a body that can support and do a lot of things. Same thing. So when you make a structure, you're following after the path of the Creator, when He made us. You look at the body and you say to yourself, okay, I could make this. I have a general idea of what I'm going to do. See, the easiest part to make is a tote. Just think about this in terms of everything. Three-dimensional structure. Right? So now again, wherever it's going to bulge, you're going to need a support system. So you're going to use the support system here. Right? Support system here. Support system here. Right? Because imagine the three-dimensional. Okay? Three-dimensional. It is due by Saturday, so I'll let you know how it goes. But for the most part, this is what we've been working on. I'm really excited about this to see how this is going to turn out. Where it's going to go. I totally enjoy making stuff and making art. I really do. I will give it some more ribs all the way around with the tail, because you don't want to have it where the whole thing is a big, thick mass. You can't have it, otherwise you can't pick it up. See, the whole thing about this is like, I always wondered maybe I was supposed to be a ship maker, or maybe a plane maker, or some kind of kite maker or something, because I just totally enjoy the whole aspect of forming stuff, making things for people, making things. Hello, good to see you. Making things for people and making artwork that lasts. See, the thing is, like, I like painting, but painting you can't touch. This you can touch. When this is done, you can touch it. You can pick it up. You can hold it. This might take some time to make it. This one is actually. This might actually be one of those pieces that I just make it once, you never make it again. Well, anyway, maybe I'll make another one. Okay, see, there's no bones and thing, but there is a fat thigh right here. So. Again, everything needs to have a basis. Switch the camera right this way. Put it up here. So right now I have 21 minutes. I think I have to flip the script and do it. So I'm just gonna put it right here. 2 minutes. Okay, we'll stop this camera here and start again. So then what happens is, I was learning about how when Adam and Eve sinned against God, they took away, they lost the kingdom, and the devil took it, the devil got it, because the dominion was given to Adam and Eve to rule the world, you know, to have it as dominion and to be a kingdom building thing. What ended up happening was that they gave it over to the devil. He is the one who he is the one who is principle of power, the kingdom, all the nation, you know, of the world. And the whole world is all nation. See, God was supposed to have, he made us, we're supposed to be like people that are submitting to God. And what's happening is that people begin to see things of the world and the things of the world that pass you. What ends up happening is that you have a problem where people just don't focus on God, but they focus on things God gives them. So that's kind of one of the things you're mindful of. Again, hey. Hey.
Ven, que está grabando, ven. Ven. Violeta, ven. Este va a salir en cámara, mira. Mami. Está grabando.
World star. This is like all the science. It's all the science. I really enjoyed science growing up. It was one of the things as a kid. You know, I'm kind of all over the place with ideas and thoughts. One of the things I just want to say is like, you know, this is not just art. This is something I enjoy making. I enjoy like spending time with family. I enjoy making this artwork. I enjoy just how everything just kind of flows, comes out. You know, just like I've never done it before, and I kind of have a general idea what I want to do. A general idea of how to accomplish this, you know. And it's just amazing, just like how, you know, God gives you ideas, and you're not sure exactly how it's going to work. But I think it's going to go really big with this. I think this is going to take off and become really big and very important thing when I was a maker. And I don't know, I mean, as soon as I take friends that are online and stuff, and I'm just so excited with this whole thing about how this works, you know. It's such a simplistic thing. And once I make this, it's not gonna like break apart, you know. It's not gonna be like in landfill somewhere. It's gonna be, you know, it's not gonna stay you have forever. Like I have on my car. It's just such a cool. What is happening? Camera's okay? Is it working? Yes. Okay, it's still there. And so I love it. Okay, cool. colleges so much. I like them because one, they're not just creature you see all over. It's one of those that you see frogs, you see something, you see hammerfish. You never see a hammerfish somewhere. Never. Well, if you see it, you see it. If you don't see it, like, then you just in the parks, yeah. Oh, it's not good. Long. This is a short time, right? But once this is all see, there's no carrying process, right? Like you're just ready to go. You just have a map. Just understand where you go. Places are not ready for you. And nobody gives them a book. You're not given a book to learn how to do this. They have this instinctually. Yeah, but given by the hand of the creative himself, made so that he's able to go and do what he wanted. Just kind of sit there and figure, okay, this is an amazing process. Because what happens is like you're faced with so much detail about like living in wonderland. You gotta be very familiar. And then when they go to having kids, you go on land, and the land is terrestrial, it's dry. You're dealing with, drying out. You're drying out, running out of air. You're drying out in the water. Sometimes it's so high to it. That's really creative. And that's why there's like no, I love this people. That's what's so interesting about it. That's it. I'm not sure if it's a child. Nothing. I could be wrong about that, but somebody in the comments can say, hey, there's these creatures in the water, whatever do. So with that, there's always something, there's always a lesson to be learned, or you can always find some kind of creature, some kind of
upstairs, right? She used this chair? This one, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
and then some happens
She
to
can't
like,
stand. She can't stand, right?
have it where
Transfer.
so it happens like transformation is tremendous. You're faced with a situation where you're not ready for land. So I bet you there's no sea salamanders, no ocean, open ocean, salt water salamanders, something, because the way their skin is, they're not made for the ocean. They're made for freshwater. So freshwater creatures, the greatest freshwater creature to live is a salamander. And they live in the, but you can't have fresh saltwater. So I bet you there's some animal out there, just some area that's living fresh. So we'll have to figure it out. Because so many wonderful penguins and stuff, but they don't live underwater. You know, whereas salamanders can go back and forth because they can actually go back and forth. You know, and so these are that. Rims, rims around all the parts. And you can pretty much see that. I'm gonna go finish up my part. A lot of people. Okay, my battery's running low. I just see that now. Oh goodness. Okay, I gotta get some more batteries. Folks, so sad. I'm outside now, and I really can't stop to go inside. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to stop the video here. Okay, I'm gonna have to resume later when I have more juice on my phone. But this is what I have here. This is what I did so far. I started with just an idea, and now I'm to the point where I'm working on having more details. So I'm gonna get more details on this done, and it's pretty big. Pretty big when you look at the size of of a cell phone, the size of a cell phone, the size of my hand, how big this is. You look at it, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big endeavor. I put a 6-foot table right here. It's about a 6-foot table, and it's about maybe 3 feet, 4 feet on a 6-foot table. Okay, so I'm gonna have to stop here because I'm about to run out of juice. So just want to say thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna have more stuff for you later. I have to go charge my phone, so I'll let you know how it goes on the other one. All right, when I probably make a full video for you. All right, God bless you. Talk to you soon. Goodbye. Please like and subscribe.